Welcome back. You're still watching the morning show here on ETV. We're live with you until 8 this morning. It's an iconic name that has become a staple in the South African vocabulary. We all know someone who has gone to the University of the Western Cape, and some of us may have even studied there ourselves. They are celebrating 60 years of excellence in education this year, and we're joined right now via Skype by the Vice-Chancellor at the University of the Western Cape. Prof, a very good morning. Welcome to the morning show.
Good morning, and good morning to your listeners. And thank you for that kind introduction of the University of the Western Cape.
It's an absolute pleasure, Prof. And happy 60 years. How are the celebrations going? Let's start there.
Well, as you can see, we're celebrating virtually because of the COVID-19 pandemic. You can see the banners behind me. So we've brought our celebrations into our home.
Yes.
But it is going exceptionally well. Colleagues across the university has been arranging a number of events in celebration, but it is all done virtually. We've also been meeting with our international partners, and we're also celebrating our 60th with our international partners.
Of course, I mean, that is the new normal. We're doing things virtually now. Let's speak about the university now, Prof. What is it about it that intrinsically links it to the fabric of South Africa's heritage?
You know, the story of the University of the Western Cape is linked to a seminal part of the history of South Africa. In 1960, at the height of apartheid, in line with the then government's ideology of separateness, this university was conceived as a bush college intended only for colored people, and the intention was for it to produce graduates whose futures would be limited to what the apartheid government had imagined them to become. But as we know from history, this university and many other institutions, sectors of society, would not be defined by such a narrow definition. And the university rose from this unfortunate conception into a beacon of activism and eventually a non-racial institution that defied the government of our day. It was here at UWC, for example, that the draft constitution was written when we had Dalla Omar and Kader Asmal as colleagues at UWC, and they were centrally involved in drafting our current constitution. It was also here at UWC where President Nelson Mandela was conferred with his first honorary doctorate after being released from prison in 1990.
And what are some of the messages that are coming out during these virtual celebrations, Prof, with the webinars that you are holding? What would you say is the core message that is really coming out, particularly about the 60 years of existence of the University of Western Cape?
As it's in our DNA, it's in the very fabric of UWC to be connected to social justice issues, to be connected to our communities. And so some of the messages coming out is just a continuation of our values, of the things that we value: concern for poverty, concern for food security, the gender-based violence. So the webinars, in a way, celebrates the values that underpins the institution.
And graduate employability, Prof, is a big thing in South Africa right now, and it continues to be that. Tell us about that from a UWC perspective.
As I said, social justice is at the heart of the University of the Western Cape. We pride ourselves on producing graduates who are ready for the new world of work, who are armed not only with the practical and theoretical skills, but also the life skills to become active and responsive citizens of the global community.
And Prof, if I want to get in on some of the information and be part of the celebrations at UWC, how do I do that? Are you available on social media? Is the greater public able to access any of those engagements?
All our webinars and all of our activities are generally advertised on social media. We have UWC online, on Facebook, on Instagram. So it is available to the general public to participate in celebrating this iconic institution.
And Prof, any parting words from you before we close off the interview?
Well, you know, the pandemic has forced institutions to rethink the way in which we conduct business. It has forced us to rethink core values such as empathy and concern for the greater good. Just to give you an example of the kind of graduates we produce, we did a little survey on what are the fears and the worries of our students. Quite a large number of them, obviously, are concerned about their personal safety. They're concerned about completing the academic year. But amazingly, a significant percentage of our students that were surveyed were concerned about broader societal issues, such as the economic slowdown, such as the collapse of our health systems. So we think that the pandemic has forced us to rethink the way we do business, to rethink the way that we interact with each other, and to care for each other.
Prof, thank you so much for your time and all of this insight that you've shared with us. And we wish you all of the best as you continue to celebrate 60 years of existence of UWC. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me on your morning show. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Let's take a short ad break now. That's where we leave this conversation.